All right, what's up, guys? We're back with another one here. So today I want to talk about some shocking news. Not really shocking, but some big news that happened a little while ago revolving the Capcom Pro Tour and commentary. My favorite. Look at me. I'm a ex-retired CPT commentator, huh? So I think I'm able to talk about this. But if you like this stuff, if you like commentary, if you like Street Fighter, if you like the Capcom Pro Tour, hit that subscribe button and let's go. This is all stemming from this tweet from Mr. Logan Sama. So I'm sure you are familiar with Logan Sama. If for some reason you're watching and you're not, he's an 09er, which again that's a OG. That's OG status now. But he's been one of the especially recently, he's been like one of the main pillars of not just the UK Street Fighter scene, but doing a lot for just Europe in general. And he's also been, you know, CPT commentator, he's been hosting all sorts of work over the years. He's one of the classic pairings, like Logan Sama and F-Word, those two have been around doing a lot of work. Well, apparently not this year, because he made this tweet right here. So it says, we've just been told that you will not see any UK-based commentators on any of the CPT broadcasts this season, including the UK and Ireland event May 7th. What do I see out? Competitive Street Fighter 5 went from this photo to nothing at all. Words can't express my disappointment. Now, I feel that pain 100%. I know exactly where it's coming from, you know, because the thing about doing commentary, it's not like a fighting game. It's not like playing a fighting game, you know. It's not like, all right, me versus you, let's settle it, I win, da-da-da. Commentary, it's not even a popularity contest. It's up to the producers, the organizers. They get a pick. And in current year, in 2022, when there are 9,000 people that have commentator in their Twitter profile, it's quite a hard industry. Is it an industry? I don't know, but it's quite a hard thing to get involved in, because everybody is trying to gun for that very limited spot. But kind of what I want to say about this is that, I tweeted out, I was like, I'm not really surprised with any of this stuff. So Logan is pretty big. I would say this is kind of like a pretty big deal, because Logan and F were one of the major ones there. But if you've been paying attention, something I've also been talking about and tweeting these past few years, especially with Corona, is like, even before that, screw it. It's the West Coast privilege, baby. It's West Coast privilege. This video, the whole point of the video, which we're going to get to, is that the FGC, believe it or not, is way bigger than California. I know that might blow some of your minds, but there's a very interesting, there's a very varied fighting game community all around the world, believe it or not. So where does it start? I've always been complaining about West Coast privilege, right? And people say, shut up, Jiyuna. You're crazy. You're crazy old man. It's what are you talking about? It's not real at all. So what is this? It's like, they started a while ago, because, you know, a lot of the American HQs for these companies are in Southern California. So we'd have like the World Championship for this game taking place in Southern California. It's like, all right, so Street Fighter Capcom Pro Tour is like SoCal. Tekken was like, all right, let's do it SoCal. It's like Arc Revo World Tour Grand Finals for the World Championship, like toss it in SoCal right there. So like all the productions in SoCal, so naturally they're gonna grab the commentators in SoCal. It's been kind of the home of the FGC for a long time, but recently, in the past few years, before Corona, that started to change. You know, I think the first company to really take that initiative, that big step, was Bandai Namco. So when they started moving their world championships to other countries, Amsterdam, they had Thailand. The last one was supposed to be in America, was going to be St. Louis, right? That would have been super hype. But again, just let's get out of California. Let's start moving around to some other areas. So I thought we were going in a pretty good direction there, but it seems to have stopped. Talking about Capcom, you know, even before Corona, you know, European commentators would do that, but maybe they'd send like one or two American guys out there. You know, even in Asia, you had people that were stationed in Asia to commentate out here. Maybe you would send one or two of the American guys. But during the pandemic, when everything went online, all the commentators from America, most of them were from California. I did not understand the thought process of that at all. This is before the studio, because if you're doing this online, if you don't have to be at the venue, if you do not have to physically be in the same room together, why aren't you getting people from that area? Why aren't you getting people, local players, or even better, why aren't you getting people outside of California? What's going on there? I don't know. Now, the scary thing that happened is that the last season of the Capcom Pro Tour, as well as like Street Fighter League, they started moving over to a studio-based format. But you remember they're throwing chairs and stuff, but again, that studio is where they did a lot of the Street Fighter commentary. My concern is not that they're going to be sending California players to the UK and Ireland. That's obviously a possibility. There's a possibility that they could just be sending, you know, their regular California dudes to the UK. My concern is that they run everything out of that studio. So Capcom, as I'm sure you've been aware, has really been pushing esports. They've really been trying to do very professional, very highly produced, very, you know, they're selling a package. They're selling a package and everything. So what if the same way you send a stream, to you guys to watch on Twitch TV, you can easily send that stream to a studio. And then from the studio, now they can broadcast. So you can have commentators at the studio commentating a match happening in the UK. That is 100% possible. It's not confirmed, don't get me wrong, but that's a very, very scary thought. One of the best parts about the fighting game community is just the energy at the offline gatherings, right? All the players are there, you know, just the rivalries, the hype of the crowd and all that stuff, and that feeds into the commentary. The best commentary happens when the energy in the room is there. Just so easy to feed off. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong 100%. I hope they're not planning to shoot all the CPT professional commentary out of that studio and just relay it to them, and then they relay it to you. And maybe you're gonna have a local guy on site doing like interviews with the mic or something like that. That'd be a huge step back for the fighting game community, but maybe for like the production crew, the commentators involved, and like Capcom's like branding, it'll be a step forward for them. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna go forward, but sorry about this whole culture is gone. We're finished with that. That would suck. Here's another, like, this happened today. This is Hamiko. I'm sure you know Hamiko too, but Hamiko is like the lead Street Fighter commentator in Japan. So he made a tweet. He saw Logan's tweet and said, why? You know, the local members of that region should be the ones, and that community should be the ones that we leave this kind of commentary up to, right? They know it best. It's like even in Japan, they're talking about this kind of stuff. This sucks, but again, this is something that's been happening. And I think it's been happening because people haven't really been vocal. So what you need to do is you have to like speak up for your own community, your own stars. Like you need to hype them up. I'll never forget when I saw people excited when like, they're like, oh, I can't believe we have this person commentating our tournament right here. Like this is our like CPT top 8 for our region. Like, wow, we have this famous guy commentating our tournament. It's like, you should be hyping up your guy to be commentating the tournament, right? You should have your scene, because there are people everywhere. It's not like years and years of community growing and there's no one doing commentary. Everyone's just quietly waiting. There are people that commentate every week. The people working really, really hard, and like they need that chance, but they're not going to be handed one. Cameron's just going to go and hand these guys an opportunity. It's up to you to hype them up. You got to hype yourself up too, first of all. If you're a commentator, you got to hype yourself up, but the community should be pushing for their own, you know, representation, not just in the players and whatever you have. Artist, commentator, whatever you have, man. So what I think is going to happen, here's my prediction. This is my prediction. Logan Sama and F-Word are going to get commentary jobs. This tweet will get, not deleted, but replaced. And be like, you know what? Capcom heard the feedback. Logan and F-Word are in. Thumbs up. People are going to be really happy. Like, oh, we did it. Like, come on, boys, we did it. FGC, we win. But what about everyone else? Last year, like CPT Australia, like 0 Australians. There's no Australians. I know there's a big scene down there. I know there's a ton of commentators. Like, what about those dudes out there? What about LATAM? What about all of South America? What about all that? What about Asia? What about all the other regions, right? You guys are still screwed. But again, there's not a dig on these two, but it's like, it's not just about Logan Sama and F-Word. It's about all the communities, right? You got to get, everybody needs to get involved. So but there's so many, and again, people are like, oh, who cares? Like, who cares? There's so much benefit from having local commentary. Like I used to travel too when I was doing commentary, like years ago. So I would go out again and just bring up Australia. You know, I'd go down to do commentary in Australia, and I'd always get paired with a local person. Whenever we do like pools and all the way up to top 8, it'd be one of us, one of the dudes that got sent out from Capcom or the production team, and then a local commentator. Every time, I don't know any of these people. You know, I can commentate on like the Japanese players that were traveling or the other players, but whenever you're up against a local, we have no knowledge. I have no idea about this. This is what the local commentator, the guy who's knowledgeable about this, who knows, you know, the player's background, who knows any story, who knows any drama, who knows any tricks, they can fill that in. That's invaluable, right? That's what they bring. And then it's not like, oh, that's all they have. Of course, the local dudes are good at commentary too. There's no need to just, you know, dilute the pool down to like 4 dudes and just see them everywhere. The worst too is like time zones and stuff. It's like, yeah, dude, it's 3:30 in the morning. Time for me to do some commentary. It's like, why not just let the people over here do it? But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say. There's a ton. This sucked to see, especially because, like, as I mentioned, like Logan and F-Word really take this seriously. Like the amount of work they do, not just for commentary, but just everything, like community management and like getting opportunities for players and all this stuff. Like they deserve it, first of all. Second of all, it sucks in general for the reasons I explained to you, for not having, you know, all that local just knowledge and just energy just gone, because we got some people in California doing it. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share that. It sucks. I got tight seeing it, but again, it was Not really. As I said, I was like, yeah, we kind of saw this coming. Hopefully it'll change, and not because, you know, Capcom's like, you know what, we made a mistake. Hopefully it changes because people will start voicing their opinions, right? People start saying, let's get our guys going. But again, that's up to you. Not up to me, it's up to you. So we'll see. Let me know what you think. Some people don't care at all. Some people like seeing the same 3 or 4 people every single weekend, 3 times a week. We don't want to see this guy. We've never seen him before. Like, get these people back. We want to see our favorite guy time after time. If that's how you feel, let me know. If I'm right and Logan Network get put back on the roster and everyone in FGC's like, we did it, we won. Remember, you got to buy me a drink or a sub or something like that. But yeah, anyway, if you're still watching, thank you. Leave a comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.